And so I think doing and being are kind of two things that work together. But when you're always thinking about what you have to do, you're not being.
Welcome back to another episode of Voices of the Goddess, where brilliant women come to take a break from their successful and sometimes overwhelming lives to level up, live free, and create abundance.
If your hectic life has you feeling a bit lost, if you're building your career, brand, or business, or if you simply want to get the most out of life, this podcast is for you. I'm your host, Julietta Wenzel, founder of Body and Soul PT and Soul Candy.
And I'm your co-host, Graciela Laurent, professional portrait photographer specializing in boudoir and personal branding.
Whether you're relaxing with a cup of coffee or running around town, we've got you.
Whatever you're doing, thanks for bringing us along and sharing a laugh.
Here comes the magic. We're starting the show laughing.
We're starting laughing. We're ending laughing. I might laugh a little bit in between too, just for the fun of it.
We might cry too. That happens. Oh my God.
It's all perfect. It's all perfect. How you been?
Laughing. That's how I've been. No, funny story. I have been, and I even think you saw me last week on one of my days where like there has just been so much going on. Like I'm feeling bad for my cat because I'm like out every night at this networking event, that event, whatever. And Saturday, I literally had nothing that I had to do. And so I made the conscious decision to do nothing.
Nothing.
I did nothing. Well, I did one load of laundry.
Okay. But you didn't work.
I didn't work. I like Netflix binged, Gaia TV binged, and I'm not gonna lie, there was like this little bit of like, there still are things that need to get done. Like I should be doing them instead. And there I just said should, the word I hate the most in the dictionary. But it was a little bit of like there was the pleasure in it, but there was also the, like this isn't okay. I should
Yeah,
there's stuff that
absolutely.
needs to be done, but man, all I've been is doing. And I'm proud of myself that I didn't give in. I like just bead.
I'm impressed. It goes to show that it really does take a conscious effort to relax, right? Like it's not just, oh, I have this free time. No, nobody has free time. You don't just have it. It doesn't just come to you, right? You have to like sit down and create it. It takes a conscious effort to carve out the time to do the things you want to do and then to do nothing, right? Isn't that beautiful? I love that so much. I'm proud of you. And also there's a lot of shit to do. So back to work.
Back to work, bitch.
Well, we have a whole big retreat coming up, so I'm excited about that. That's that's got some do nothing built into it, right?
It does have a lot of be time, and it's so important, and we all need more time to just be. Maybe not an entire Saturday. that was a lot. Maybe.
Was it though? I think it's just geographic, honey. I bet you $20 that if we were to go live in another country, in another place, in another, environment, it wouldn't even be a big deal. Look at Loma Linda, one of the places in that is marked off as a blue zone. Part of it's a Seventh-day Adventist community, and they shut it down, all the way. And so that one day of the week for them is no tech. It's family day. So you know what? It literally is extending their lives to live in 100 years. So
I think back at least when I was a kid, you're a little bit younger than me, but Sundays, nothing was open. You went to church, you went home, had, big Sunday meal with your family and just
remember that
hung out. Like you couldn't go anywhere or do anything because nothing was open. Everything was closed.
I remember everything being closed. And then I remember when the mall started opening, like 12 to 5, something like that. Like on a Sunday, you could like go to Sears, things like that, right? Like the hardware store, whatever. But it would only be open like 12 to 5, which was amazing because when I was young, I used to work at Victoria's Secret, surprise, surprise. And on Sundays, you only worked, those couple of hours. That was it. You didn't, because there was no demand for it at all, and then all of a sudden stores started doing, super late night, super early in the morning. I remember there was one grocery store when I was growing up, I think it was called Extra, and it was literally open 24 hours, like 24. You could go do your groceries at 2:00 in the morning. And I'm like, man, what are we doing? Like, how is this healthy? How is this good? But yeah, I miss when people, one of our previous guests was like, whatever happened to the lazy days of summer, whatever happened to lazy Sundays. I'll tell you what happened. The stores opened. That's what happened, is that people got busy,
Oh, bring them back. Bring them back. The days of...
It's just a decision, Julietta.
There we go.
Right? You just decide and you just turn it off, and that's it,
For sure. All right. It's tough trying to have it all, isn't it? You're successful, super busy, mostly happy, but something's missing.
We know what's missing. Lean in. It's you.
It's the authentic expression of yourself.
It is time to uncover your true self and create the fulfillment, joy, peace, and freedom that you crave.
Introducing our life-changing retreat, designed exclusively for women who are ready to release self-doubt, find balance, and embrace their authentic selves.
Join us as we embark on a journey where the magic of Mexico will ignite your spirit and set your soul free, I promise.
Nestled in the heart of Mexico, the captivating beauty of San Miguel de Allende provides a magical setting for our retreat and a sanctuary for women seeking profound change in their lives.
Our facilitators will guide you through a series of empowering workshops, enlightening ceremonies, and rejuvenating practices, all carefully curated by us to empower you to let go of self-doubt and step into your true potential.
Each day you'll be surrounded by the warmth of like-minded women ready to embrace self-discovery and all of life's possibilities.
And what's cool is that together you'll form an unbreakable bond, supporting and inspiring each other as you navigate the path towards a more fulfilled and empowered life.
There's plenty of alone time set aside for you introverts so you can recharge and rejuvenate.
Amen. The retreat venue itself is one of a kind. Imagine a sprawling acreage nestled at the foot of a volcano. It also has botanical gardens, sacred spaces for ceremonies, and reflection.
It also has a magnificent dedicated spa room made entirely of quartz crystals, and a sauna and a cold plunge pool.
That's totally me. I'm in the sauna. There's even a therapeutic donkey living there. I'm so excited.
Can't wait to meet the donkey. Plus, every culturally rich meal is cooked for you. All you have to do is sit down and enjoy the experience.
I'm sorry, home-cooked meals in Mexico?
Yay!
So we'll also visit natural hot springs, check out the pyramids, do an easy nature hike, and we're going to explore San Miguel de Allende.
But the highlight of this trip is going to be Dia de los Muertos.
It is a time-honored tradition. City streets filled with painted faces. It's not just an homage to your ancestors, it's a celebration of the new you.
And it's all included.
Woo-hoo! So imagine coming back home and waking up each day knowing that you have the tools to create a life that brings you joy every single day.
And it's all within reach.
So the time is now and space is limited.
So visit our website at botgpodcast.com to learn more and reserve your spot.
I promise you, the journey to a more fulfilled and empowered life starts here.
We can't wait to create this magical experience with you.
See you soon.
Shall we bring our guest on?
Yes, let's do it.
Dun, 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 dun. Hello, Laine.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to my home.
So
and it's Monday. I'm not working today, and I'm doing this, and I'm getting a pedicure, and then I'm going to have dinner with my son and my daughter-in-law.
Beautiful.
I made the executive decision. My son talked me into it. because I'm work. Mom, all you do is work. All you do is work. Well, and I was a single mother with 2 kids. That's all I did was work. So that's what they remember. And even on my day off, I'll be working on something. And the industry that he works Tuesday through Saturday, because Saturdays, people are not working. That's when they go get their tattoos. And I said, I think I'm going to make my weekends. I'm going to be off on Mondays. And Mondays are my fun days. Monday
fun day.
Monday's my fun day. I don't set my alarm. I'll stay up extra late on Sunday night, binge watch something. Last night it was Outlander, that kind of thing, and sleep in and plan something. So those are the days that I do my days, and that is hard because same thing. It's like, I have this to do, I have that to do, I have to do so much, and it's like, no, if you don't fill your cup, you can't spill from an empty cup. So you have to keep filling it. And that was a really hard lesson. I think it's this habit. You just get into that habit of being productive all the time. And it's the environment. It's a collective, it's not even consciousness. It's just a collective way of living in this country that people just have to be productive all the time, to buy more stuff, to do more things, So today's my day off. I'm hanging out with you guys.
So we know who you are very well, but we would like you to introduce yourself to our audience, tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what keeps you passionate in what you're doing.
So I'm Laine Miller. For many, many years, I was a PTA, a physical therapist assistant. And in the COVID crisis, I decided to go at 51 years old, decided to go to massage school and get my massage license so that I could practice on anybody at any time, however they wanted and I wanted, because they were so limited in that medical genre, and working for myself and being able to develop a practice. And so that's part of me. So that's my With You in Healing is my company, and I work out of 3 spaces. And I never thought that it would, I'm like, I'm just going to put myself in 3 places and see what happens. And, that's it. So I have 3 practices. I have to cut it off. I have to not take clients. I have to turn people down, which I never thought I would get to that point, but I'm there and I love it. Sometimes I take a day off and don't take anybody. And I also, I guess I'm a course writer. I wrote a course called Lymphatic Restoration Therapy with MPS therapy and manual lymphatic drainage. And that was a big thing for me. I put it off and put it off and put it off, and then finally did it, wrote the course, got all ready to teach the course on May of 2020, and it was canceled. And my whole life was canceled. My courses were canceled, physical therapy was canceled, and out of tragedy comes opportunity. I was stuck in my house for 6 months, and I learned how to write courses, record courses, make videos, learn how to use the computer other than checking my email, that kind of thing. And and I evolved through it. And it was like, people, even in the past, I had breast cancer, and people had said, oh my goodness, that's so horrible. I'm like, it was a gift. It was a point of evolution for me. So that's where I'm at. I don't believe in putting all my eggs in one basket, and I'm trying to diversify myself so that I always have something fun to do. And if I get tired of one thing, I can move on to the next. And it's been great. The variety and spontaneity of it all has just been fantastic.
I love that you said what a gift, because those were the exact words on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, what a gift, right? To be able to just shift and morph and create the exact life that you want, and stay flexible enough that might change as time passes, and that's okay too, right? We're talking earlier about how, you said, like, it's not even consciousness, like people are living these automatic lives and you don't even realize it. I mean, and I speak from experience, right? Like, I accidentally spent 20 years in the legal field. I swear I didn't mean to. Like, it wasn't my goal. When I was little, I wasn't like, I want to be in the legal field. It wasn't at all. But time passes and you don't even realize. But I think it's really cool that you did things that you were uncomfortable doing, and you are now just hitting your stride the way that you are. So teach our audience about your limiting beliefs, what you had that was, kind of stopping you from pushing forward until that opportunity came. What switched it for you? What what limiting belief did you have to let go of?
I
to
think
carry
I
on?
think me being the generation that I was raised in, right?
Mm,
So I was raised in 70s and 80s where both parents worked and I was a latchkey kid, and you were told that if you weren't working hard, you weren't doing. You need to work hard and save your money and keep working and keep working, and if you have extra time, work a little more. And it was just that was that mentality. If you want it, earn it. So I kind of grew up with that. And then just feeling like if I wasn't being producing money all the time, or making a plan to do better all the time to better myself. But then one day I just woke up and I said, what do you mean better myself? I am great just the way I am. And that was really hard to get to, you know? So I think a lot of it was just kind of growing out of that generational, this is how you should be kind of thing, and coming into your own. And the other limitation for me was just like, that's it. I just wasted all my good years. Here I am, 45 years old. I should have did this when I was 30. I should have went here. I should have did that. And it's just too late for me. I mean, Julietta knows I had all these plans. I was going to go to PT school. I was going to go to acupuncture school. I was going to do all these things. And something always came in the way, and it didn't happen. And then one day I woke up and it was like, it was just not your journey. Like everybody else would tell you that's what you should do. And I was like, yeah, that's what I should do. And so I don't know. I think the point, just when my whole world fell apart, divorce, cancer, everything just fell apart. It was a wake up moment. And then when COVID happened, it was like, okay, wake up. There's opportunity everywhere. And abundance doesn't mean money. Abundance means gratitude for all that you have. And we all can live an abundant life no matter where we are and what we have, and stop trying to reach for that object, because you have it here. It's all in here. And that was, I think, a tough moment for me. And it really was just making opportunity after of what was gifted to me, and enjoying the journey. And so it's been great. We talked about, some people turn 50 and they're like, I turned 50 and like my whole life just changed, and it's just a great time of life.
And I think, life expectancy, people used to live to like 40. And if you're in your 40s, you were an old age. And, now it's like you're only at the halfway point. Like there's so much more to do. And
the halfway point on this earth, right?
Mm.
This round.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing that really helped me out too. To know that we're part of something so much bigger. And so it's not just, the end point is not just when we die, and I think that really resonates deep within me too. It's just like, this is just part of it, but yeah, it's a great journey.
I will tell you, the other day I had a friend of mine kind of do a past life reading for me. Basically, she just told me about some stuff in my past lives, and it was really it just resonated so much. But what surprised me about what she said is, like, one of the things that she said is that I had a lot of lifetimes where I was a dancer, right? And it may be like a can dancer, or like a carnival dancer, or like this type of dancer, that type of dancer. And I'm like, that's really incredibly satisfying, because I always feel like I never danced enough when I was younger, and now my knees hurt, right? So like I'm working, like I still like to dance and I still like to have fun, but there was a part of me that was like, oh man, I don't know if I've danced enough, But even hearing that, I'm like, you're right. Like, we're part of so much bigger and so much greater. And what I didn't get to this lifetime is not a loss. It's either something that I already did in a previous life, like checked off, no big deal, or it's something that's saving for the next one, like that last M&M, I'm going to savor it, like, right?
Or you can just revisit, you could dance anytime. I say that to patients of mine that can't move, or whatever. You can always close your eyes and go anywhere you want, dance any way you want, be whatever you want, because that's really, we create ourselves. And I believe you brought up past lives. And it's funny because we talk about which book influenced us. I have many books that I've read, but more recently has been Journey of Souls. And he does past life regression, but he also does soul regression, like what happens in between lives. and the conversations that your soul has with your, your spirit guides and people that you've been with in lifetime. And it's like, that just, it resonated very true with me, because I've always felt, like the first day, Julietta and I met at a course, and it was like,
Instant.
I know you.
Yeah.
Where have I met you before? And then just one of my favorite people in the world, we'd go 2 years without seeing each other. And it's like, it's just 2 years, whatever, and it just, you just resonate with that person because we've been on this journey before. And if not here, there, and so it's just such a great, so that book was about, yes, we have past lives here, but we also have past lives there. And that resonated very strongly with me. And that, the lesson here, and then we go back to school and go, okay, now what did you learn? What did you learn? And that in, instead of middle school, earth school, what did you learn there? And what didn't you learn? And what do you want to do? You choose your journey. And and that shifted my practice. When I get people to lay on my table, and that's always been that way, right, Julietta? Like even in PT, it was like people really just wanted to talk to me for whatever reason. And we'd have a real great conversation, and they'd leave and they'd feel better. And people like, what did you do? I'm like, I did ultrasound on their knee, and they feel better. But people just kind of have to unload. And it's just like, this is just a journey. It's just a lesson. And sometimes I'll say to those clients, you chose this journey. Mm-hmm. You chose it. So, learn from it. And a lot of times even people that don't believe in it, they'll go, yeah, I did. I chose this journey, so it's pretty cool.
We chose it and we made it up. So you don't like it, make something else up.
Right. Yeah. Our frontal cortex has to put everything into, tangible, I don't want to say edible, but, it has to be tangible. It has to be able to communicate with all these other earthlings with this language that we have. And we feel like we have to come up with an explanation for everything that we do, because everybody's watching, especially now. Right now, everybody's watching, right? So you always feel like you're on display, so I think that's hard for a lot of people. I think now in this world, with this whole AI and social media world, I think it's really tough for people, to be able to, they put themselves out there to many more people, and they feel like they have to put on a shell or be something that they're not, or be something that social media person is, or this is how I should look. And so I think it's actually difficult for a lot of people in one way, but in the other way, you're seeing all sorts of people now, because people are coming out of their woodwork, and it's like, well, that person's happy and they're not thin.
Right.
What's going on?
This is what I love about TikTok. I tell Juliet all the time. I think it's been a few episodes since I brought up TikTok, but
I'll let you bring up TikTok again.
I love TikTok. What's great about TikTok is that you can see all kinds of people doing all kinds of things. And so whatever your version of you think is weird, man, go on TikTok. You're going to find your people, like your tribe is there. Like you think you're the only one, that believes in XYZ, or you think you're the only one that eats your meal a certain way or whatever. Like everybody's out there. And I think like it just, I don't know, for as divisive as social media and all these things can be, it can also really bring people together, because it feels so good just to know that other people feel the way you feel, right? That you're not alone.
It's just a different social experiment. I mean,
and you're talking about like people coming onto your table and just needing to talk. That's community. That's what that is. It's community. It's what we used to have when we lived more in community, when we didn't have cars, when we didn't have concrete buildings separating us from each other. Right. So kudos to you for being a listener, because that's the most healing modality of all. Right. Healing begins when we begin to feel heard.
And that's why my company is called With You in Healing. I'm not going to heal you. I am not. The healing potential is within you. And it's my job to help you tap into that reserve of healing and growing and who you really are. And that's really all you can do. You have to make that choice. So and even in physical therapy or anything else, it's if that person doesn't have the drive to heal themselves, or if their intention is not to heal themselves for whatever reason, it's not going to happen. And so, just, you can be with somebody on that journey. And for me, I have a profound sense of gratitude anytime somebody comes to me for anything, whether it's to help them with a task or anything, because I feel, wow, that person trusted me enough to bring me on their journey, which I think is pretty cool.
So I'm curious, because you've done so much transitioning and new things, but I know, like, it's not the final destination. Life is just a journey. And, I laugh, like, even though we're going towards, striving to be our authentic self, but even becoming your authentic self is a journey, because what's authentically you today might not be authentically you tomorrow. So is there something brewing under the surface there that's waiting to come out and be shared with the world?
I think really just for me, it's just to maybe when I find it to share it. I just feel like there's something bigger out there, but something quieter. Do you know what I mean? I think that by learning how to live my life in balance and for me and with who I am, I can help others get there too. And that's I think that's my journey, is just to be able to teach through my own experience. And when I get there, I don't know if I'm going to be that elder that, like, okay, this is what I did wrong and that's what you're supposed to do. I have no idea. But I just look at every challenge as an opportunity. And, I guess whether or not I'm going to evolve into something else, I think like you said, I want to evolve and do less, not more. And by doing less, I just mean absorbing everything, the day, you talked about, being in pajamas. I mean, really the only reason I look like this right now is because I'm on the screen. Otherwise I would be in my pajamas until it was time to go get my pedicure. Today is my Monday jammy day. And just learning how to do less. I think you brought it up, and I just think it's really true. It's just, how do I just slow down and enjoy the journey a little bit more? And that, I think, is my biggest challenge, because I love being busy. I love having projects. I love doing things. But then I also love quiet time. So finding that balance, I think, is my hardest challenge.
I think you just invented a new hashtag Jammy Day.
Jammy Day.
I think that we need to do Jammy Day on the podcast one.
That's a great idea. I do that when I teach my classes. You know that?
Really?
Not live classes, but that actually is a good idea. When I would teach my classes on the weekends on Zoom, I'd be like, I don't know about you guys, but tomorrow's Jammy Day. I'm showing up with my hair in a ponytail, whatever pajamas I was wearing last night. So I invite you all to come to class tomorrow in your pajamas. And I would say about 75%. And some of them would get real creative. They'd be like poofy and have like little cartoon characters on their jammies. And one girl showed up with like 2 ponytails, and another person showed up with a teddy bear, and it was fun. And it was just like, yeah, who says you have to be all, professional, just have a good time and let loose and let go. And we should have a jammy at work day.
I love it. And I think I'd also like to chat a little bit more about doing nothing. Like, I don't know. I think doing nothing is more about a mindset than anything else, because maybe you're doing nothing is gardening for 6 hours straight, or maybe you're doing nothing is reading all those books you haven't had a chance to read. That's my kryptonite, So do nothing can, like, for those of us in recovery, of recovering from being overdoers, doing nothing doesn't necessarily have to mean staring at a blank wall, right? Although I think you can get a lot of really interesting things by staring at a blank wall, but it just means doing things that are in flow, doing things that come naturally, doing things that feel good, taking your time to do things. We've been talking about cacao lately, and just creating little rituals for ourselves that slow us down and that make us really focus and pay attention to what you're doing in front of you, right? Even Thich Nhat Hanh talked about like walking meditations, you know, washing dishes can be a meditation, doing the laundry can be a meditation, because it's all how you show up and where your mind is while you're doing those things. So
See, I look at that
is doing nothing.
Yeah, I look at that as not doing, but being. And sometimes we just think we have to do things, but really all we just have to do is be. And whatever moment you're in, just be in that moment. And I think that's why doing the dishes or doing a project or making a mala or whatever you love to do with your spare time, you are doing something, but you are being with the project, and everything else just goes bye-bye. So yeah, gardening is my thing. People make fun. I could go out there and pull weeds for 4 hours and talk to the butterflies and watch a spider make his web and, you know, that kind of stuff, and jump in the pool and float around, and, you know, and it is the best day, you know, because I'm just not thinking of anything else but what I'm doing. And so I think doing and being are kind of two things that work together. But when you're always thinking about what you have to do, you're not being. You're 10 years, 10 minutes, 10 hours ahead, and you're not being. And that's hard. And that's why I love my practice, because when in a massage practice, I'm with one person for 1 hour and I am with them, and it's that moment. So as therapeutic as it is for them, it is for me, which is amazing. So yeah, love it.
I'm like, oh, can we all just sit here in a pause?
Let's go do nothing together. Let's just be together. That's what we're doing right now. We're just being together. I love it.
That's all beautiful, ladies, but we're not going to have here with dead air. That's just not going to happen.
No, not going to happen. I wish I could go to Mexico with you guys. I was so bummed I'm not free. If I was free, I would have gone. You know, I mean, oh my God, next time for sure.
We'll definitely be planning more, and but the first one is going to be the first one. Yeah, it's going to be so memorable.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
So I know we have talked a lot, and you have so many gifts, and I'm going to ask you just for one more. What is one parting gift you'd like to leave our audience with? Just your one little nugget that you think they could take away with just that one bit.
Stop doing. Just be.
That's it. You heard it here first, people. You probably have heard it for the millionth time. Pay attention. Universe is talking to you.
Well, and we talk about that all the time too, that, you know, in these shows, we repeat the same conversation so many times, but it's hearing it in someone else's words, from someone else's, you know, everything that they bring to the table. It's going to resonate just right for somebody out there. And, you know, like you said, yes, you have heard it a million times till you hear it from the right voice, with the right words, with the right energy behind it, that it finally resonates with you and you can hear it and act on it.
So we're hereby issuing the hashtag Jammy Challenge, Jammy Day Challenge. Next time you listen to our episode, we challenge you to sit back in your pajamas, put your feet up, and just enjoy the show. Thank you so much for being here, Laine. We so appreciate you.
And I think we lost her. There she is.
I'm back again. I don't know. I'm having weird glitches today.
In an alternate universe.
Go back in the pool.
It's just a reminder that it's time to do nothing again. So thank you for joining us today, Laine. Thank you to our listeners for stopping and taking a moment to be with us. And I wish you all a magical day.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today and keeping us in the top 10% of podcasts in the world.
Ask us how you can promote your business on this podcast as a sponsor, and make sure you check out the show notes for details on how to get in touch with Julieta, Graciela, or today's special guest.
We're sending you lots of love and gratitude. Have a magical day.